Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Carrie Croft Show. I'm your host, Carrie Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. Avena Women's Care is a collective of 40-plus providers that have been serving Central Ohio communities with comprehensive women's health care for decades. They meet women where they are in every phase of life. From fertility services to menopause care, annual checkups to 3D mammography, Avena provides robust services for all. So for the highest level of individualized women's health care, there's one name to remember: Avena Women's Care. Go to www.avenawomenscare.com to request an appointment. Be sure to tell them Carrie sent you. Ready to elevate your self-care game? Boss Gal Beauty Bar is a modern med spa offering everything from cosmetic injectables, lasers and microneedling, to medical-grade facials and skincare. Conveniently located in Clintonville, Grandview, Powell, and Easton, making self-care a priority has never been easier. Use code CROFT for $25 off your first visit. Hey, Ohio, thinking about smoother, brighter skin? Well, fall is the perfect time for laser treatments. With less sun and cooler weather, your skin heals beautifully, and you'll be glowing just in time for the holidays, honey. And here's the best part. If you're a first-time client, mention the Carrie Croft Show for $100 off your first purchase. Call today and book your fall laser treatment with the experts at Donaldson. So for anyone who cares, I'm actually texting my friend. We're both going through some variation of menopause right now, and we're comparing notes. Notes which, they're not pretty. The notes are not pretty. They are not. Oh, speaking of, frozen shoulder, ladies and gentlemen, that is something I didn't even know existed in life until I embarked upon this thing called menopause. How is that possible that I am talking about menopause? Like, it's like a really interesting, weird thing to go through. You know, hot flashes. And I took the leap and started hormone replacement therapy. It's like 4 days in. So I can't give you any, definitive answers on if it helps or not, but come check with me in like maybe 30 days or so. Hello, friend, and welcome back to the Carrie Croft Show. This is a much needed, long overdue solo cast with just you and me together. Hopefully you're cozy right now somewhere. It's, day after Thanksgiving. I hope that your Thanksgiving was, full of just a lot of gluttony and love and joy and no politicking, no religion. Hopefully you skirted like Uncle Bob and Aunt Mindy's, ridiculousness that people like to serve up on Thanksgiving. So I just want to let you know that I'm grateful for you. I've missed you. And there are reasons here that we have gone a little bit. You may not have even noticed. I don't think other people notice as much, obviously, as we do. But we have been building a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And it's a very lean team, which consists of basically Kitty Kate, myself, and Kelsey. And then we have Josh helping us right now. If you haven't seen a new episode of The Carrie Croft Show in a couple of weeks, it's because we've decided as a team that with all the stuff that we're building right now on the back end of stuff to prop up this new business, that our time is better spent on that stuff. Never fear, the show is booming, coming back bigger than ever in 2026 in so many ways. But I just wanted to let you know that if you're feeling like we're repurposing some old shows on the B Word, which is our weekly newsletter. So that's why you're not seeing maybe as many weekly new episodes as you would normally, because we are kind of allocating our time and energy elsewhere right now to get shit popping. So I feel like we have a lot to discuss together. So grab your coffee or your tea or whatever tickles your fancy, and let's get this party started. Lots of questions. We've got a lot of questions coming our way, and I understand why. And I'll be honest with you, since you're on the inside, you're an insider, we don't know what it's going to be called at this point. So originally we were going to call it the B Lab. And the reason why I'm so attached to the B is because all the words that resonate with me and with what I want to build really start with a B. And so I find that to be a little more than coincidental. So you've got badass, brave, boss, belong, be, believe, become, build, brand, body, business. And there's a couple more that really sit with me in terms of like my anchor words. So the B is near and dear to my heart. And then lab kind of just sort of came because it just did. And so there's a couple of things right now. We keep seeing lab. Like lab has been kind of popping up a little too much for me. And I'm like, if I'm already kind of feeling that way, I'm not sure if we want to kind of stamp, and call it like we're young here. We're new. We can kind of do whatever we want. And then also there's some possibilities of some confusion with other companies out there. And I don't think it's worth that. So I say all that to say, we don't exactly know if it's going to be called the B Lab. So if you're a creative mind and you have any ideas, just please, we are racking our brains over here from a creative perspective. Regardless of the name, it's really the heartbeat and the soul and the meat of what you're building that kind of matters anyways. And the name will work itself out. It's kind of like when you name a child, like before they're born, you're like, oh my God, you named that child Henry. And then Henry's born and you're like, of course, he was meant to be a Henry, right? So I'm not as concerned with the name. That's more of a superficial thing. What I am concerned with and very excited about and completely locked in on is what we are creating behind the scenes with this new thing we're propping up. I want to explain it to you a little bit because I know that with all the questions we're getting, I know there's curiosity out there. And not to get too far in the weeds, I think what you should know right now and be excited about is that we are creating something that is at the intersection of mental athleticism, business strategy, and then hopefully at some point movement, because we all know I like to move and I like people to move. So mental athleticism, that's an exciting thing. So we're going to zoom in on that a little bit first, because what is that exactly? And it's a term or a phrase that I have really gotten to know and love over maybe the last year and a half, when I was really trying to define for myself, how can I maximize what's happening here? So for me personally, I was trying to figure out, okay, life is wild. There's so much to be done. You're a mom, you want to build a business, you're a wife. How are we going to harness all of this and organize it and really be able to enjoy it? And I guess I will say control what we can control. And mindset is fantastic. I love mindset. I love everything about it. But I think with mental athleticism, at least for me, it paints a picture of okay, what is the system behind this? What are the frameworks behind this? What's the everyday thing we're going to do and the compound effect of that thing that is going to result in something greater? That to me is mental athleticism. And so we have spent a lot of time behind the scenes building and really creating what that is. And mental athleticism has a whole entire system and framework behind it. And I won't go through all the nitty-gritty details here. I will just tell you high level. We have the focus formula, the internal and external audits, and then the DOT system, which are really important bricks in the wall of mental athleticism that we are starting to roll out with our clients here that come and do live work with us. But then when we launch the B10 in January of 2026, which we will get to in a little bit here, we're going to be really rolling that out for the first time with this first OG group of people who are going to be experiencing the B10. So that is very, very exciting. Okay, so while we're on the B10, we might as well just talk about that right now. So the B10 is a challenge that we have created, and it is basically to introduce you to the business and, more importantly, mental athleticism. I took a look at my experience with running programs in my previous business. We would run Check Yourselves, and they were very successful. And it was, people love accountability and camaraderie, and they love community. But for me, I always was trying to get into a deeper layer of I think diet and exercise are a great part of a bigger whole. But I think when you take a deeper look at it, if you don't have your priorities set, if you don't have a structure and a rhythm and a discipline to how you're doing things each day to kind of add up over time, that's just not, it's not the whole thing. And so I am so excited. Like I'm coming out of my skin excited about this B10. First of all, because I have run so many of these, I have tested like what works, what doesn't, how many days should we do? That's like a big conversation. And so I do feel like 10 days is a really great way to test yourself. It's 10 days. It's a little bit longer than 7, but it's way less than 21. And so I feel like you can get a little bit audacious with what you do in those 10 days. And let me just walk you through what the B10 experience is going to be like. So first you sign up and you immediately get a contract. And it's an ETC contract. Embrace the challenge, baby. It's not legally binding, so like let's not freak out over it. But I actually have the contract up here because I actually think it's so cute. And I think it's going to be kind of a cool thing for people to have as a reminder throughout the 10 days. And so, it's basically, I'm going to run through it with you. How about that? It's for humans in pursuit of mental athleticism, awesomeness, and everyday badassery. I mean, it sounds like you, right? So before we begin, let's be clear. No one's getting sued. This isn't a legal document. It's a spiritual declaration with better fonts. It's your signature moment to stop half-assing your potential and start training for your best life. I mean, are you jacked? I am jacked. So basically you sign this and you agree to give your best for 10 days. And what does that mean? Like, what are we doing for those 10 days, right? I know that's what you're thinking. I'm kind of clairvoyant. I can read your mind. The 5 non-negotiables of the B10. So if you're in this group, we are agreeing to no alcohol, no added sugar. You can have fruit, no gossip. Don't hang up. No social media, like doom scrolling. And you need to move every day. And you only have to move for 20 minutes. So that's kind of a cool thing. Like you don't have to like give an hour to a workout, 15 minutes to get there, an hour to work out, 15 minutes to get home. Like you don't have to like give up so much time in your day just to exercise. So that could be a positive for some people. So at a minimum, you're going to be giving up 5 things during this 10 days. If you want to get a little cray-cray and you're feeling a little frisky, we have a curated list of up to 5 additional things that you can choose. Let's just run through them. So if you want to, you can pick, no complaining, not even to your dog. No snooze button. Wake your ass up, as Corey G would say. No negative self-talk, so no bullying yourself or others. 5-minute daily journal or meditation. No phone before 8 a.m. Gratitude list each night. 100 ounces of water a day. You're in bed by 9 p.m. You can pick your time, but if you normally go to bed at 11 and you're trying to make it 9, plug in 9 right there. Cold shower or cold finish daily. Stretch 10 minutes before bed. No takeout. You need to cook every meal at home. No vaping. No vaping. Vapor, no vaping. Compliment one person daily. Unfollow 10 accounts that drain you. 1 tech-free meal each day. Text or call one person you appreciate. Check your bank account daily. No impulse shopping. Clean or organize one thing daily. Delete 50 emails a day. 10 deep breaths before bed. Read 10 minutes of something inspiring, 1 random act of kindness daily. Write 1 thank you universe line each morning. So, and then there's a section for wild cards. So if there's something that you want to get crazy with and we didn't list it, you can go ahead and feel free to add it in. Then you sign it, but we also want you to have a co-signer. No, you don't have to go to the bank and get a notary, but that would be actually kind of funny, wouldn't it? But I want you, like someone who sees you all the time, who's with you, who would hold you accountable, I want you to sign this in front of them, and then I want you to hang it somewhere where it's going to haunt you every single day for the next 10 days. In terms and conditions of this agreement, I will show up messy, curious, and relentless, because that's what we do here. Missing a day doesn't make me a failure, but also it's 10 days. Try not to miss, y'all. I will not ghost myself, gaslight myself, or gossip about myself. Negative self-talk. I'll laugh when it's ridiculous and breathe when it's heavy. I will lean in, stay in, and finish strong. And then there's a why at the end. For the next 10 days, I'm training my mind to lead and my habits to follow. Mental athleticism means prioritizing what matters, focusing on it daily, and stacking micro wins until momentum takes over. Damn it, I'm sweating. I don't know if it's a hot flash or if it's from pure adrenaline because I'm so excited about the B10. It could, if I had to be a guessing person, I'd say it's a mix of the two, okay? So you're going to sign it, you're going to go all in, and we're going to have a little fun along the way. So a couple other things about the B10. Every morning, I'm going to do a live movement session in my garage. So if you can't make it live, you'll be able to get it later. It's 20 minutes. That's it. It's 20 minutes. And it's going to be basically like your body weight. It's no big deal, but you get permission to just do 20 minutes and move on. If you're somebody out there who's like, oh, no way, I have to, great, do your 60 minutes, do your thing. I'm not trying to like cramp your style with exercise, but I know there's some people out there who struggle to get it in, and maybe it isn't as much of a discipline daily. And so 20 minutes feels like something that's doable. And really at the end of the day, doing something every day is so much more impactful than doing like one big thing every couple of weeks. So you'll have that morning movement. We're going to have a private Slack channel that always gets lit. We have daily emails, and then we also have these mental athleticism exercises. So as we roll through the 10 days, we are going to talk about the focus formula. We're going to put you through a detailed internal audit, a very specific detailed external audit, and then we will educate you on the DOT system, and we will be doing the DOT system every single day during the 10 days. It's going to be fabulous. And I dare you not to come out of this feeling lighter, more organized. You'll have so much more clarity. And I do think if you stick with this, you are going to find the momentum in your daily life and your micro habits. I mean, 10x, 20x, 200 million X, baby. So I am pumped. It starts January 12th. We're going to be doing some stuff leading up to it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to DM, send an email. We'll actually put the checkout in the show notes, and you can feel free to sign up. Oh, you can set up a 15-minute call with me too if you want to learn more. Stress and inflammation take a toll on your body and your wellness. Relax, restore, and rejuvenate at Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique. Book any service of $100 or more and enjoy 2 hours in our luxury amenities. Unwind in our Himalayan salt saunas. Recharge in our wet retreat space with a eucalyptus steam room, hot hydrotherapy pool, and cold plunge. Then drift into deep relaxation with our hanging loungers. What's your panacea? We'll help you find it. Who says you need a special occasion to feel like a celeb? I mean, stress is real. Life is busy. And your scalp? Yeah, it deserves some love too. That's where Headspace by Mia Santiago comes in. Treat yourself or someone who deserves it to a luxurious scalp treatment and a killer blowout or cut, because nothing says main character energy, honey, like a fresh style from celebrity stylist Mia and her team. And because we love a good deal, mention the Carrie Croft Show and get 20% off your service or any gift card for somebody in your life that you love. Headspace by Mia Santiago, because great hair days shouldn't be rare. So another thing about the B10 that has been getting a lot of traction is we've got communities of people. So the Riveter, doing this whole thing with the Riveter, or there's a couple of boutique fitness companies that we're talking to right now to potentially take the B10 and put it into their community. So another part of this that's interesting with my experience and my background, you know, when I was with SOS for so long, I understood as a business owner, especially in a fitness space, the value of accountability, stickiness. You know, you want customer retention, having that person bring a bestie and then getting them to convert as a client, and creating differentiation with your product and the experience that you create inside those four walls, but how challenging it is to create a consistent sort of accountability layered on program that's high touch. You know, it's a very tricky balance because it's like two different business models, essentially, if you want to do it well. And so you're pulling your core people away to try and prop up this layer on program, right? But you have to keep everything you're doing with the actual fitness, like tight and on point and, you know, top of the or head of the market. And so now I have this perspective of being able to take this B10 and allow a fitness brand or a company, we've had companies also asking about it, to have the B10 come in as this value add for their community. It can be sort of branded or acquiesced to meet the brand standards of the fitness brand within reason, right? We're not going to like totally change what we're doing, but if there's like a tweak here and there, like we're talking to one right now that's more kind of soft and about balance, and so we could lean into those B words as opposed to being like you badass, etc. So it still has to be aligned, but it's a great value add for a company to say, hey, bring this in, run this for our people, help us prioritize, help us become more productive, happier, more motivated, and then we just do a revenue share. So, if that makes your ears start to like throb a little bit and get bigger, and you're like, wait, I work for company X and that would be amazing, or this fitness place would be awesome. You can send us a note and inquire about that too. Speaking of communities that I love, I just got a text back from the T. Lee show. I've been trying to freaking lasso this woman down. And speaking of T. Lee, can you if you know, it's Tracy Showalter. She owns a Lighthouse Co. She goes dark in the summer and then she fucking pops out. She pops out on Instagram like around this time and just starts swinging with these controversial POVs that I just can't get enough of. And one of the things I do want her to do again, I think she might have done this before, is I want to punch whoever started the Elf on the Shelf. Like I really, really want to, I'm so like torn about it. And I know she doesn't do Elf on a Shelf. Oh, one more thing about the B10. You do not have to be a business person. You don't have to be starting a business. You could be a stay-at-homer. You could be a corporate America person. It doesn't matter. The B10 is basically like this easy way to peek your head into the vortex of what we're building and learn the mental athleticism side of things. I think every human being walking this earth should be more mentally athletic. It has nothing to do with business. Where it does have something to do with business is when you say, okay, I'm going to kind of work on this mental athleticism, and then you get that kind of dialed in and solid. And then you look over and go, okay, now I'm really going to crush whatever it is I'm trying to build. Because if you have a solid foundation on the left, what's that going to do to what you're building on the right? I mean, common sense would tell you it's going to be more structured, more rhythmic. It's going to make a lot more sense the more mentally athletic you are and the more prepared you are to start building the thing. Speaking of building the thing, okay, we have something called the BYE, the Build Your Empire, that is starting we think the end of February. We don't have an exact date pinned down. But this is for you if. So hear me out. And if you know anyone who you feel like this sounds like, send this to them. If this is you, set up a 15-minute call with me, DM me, email me. So for the last year, I have been helping entrepreneurs in this little studio up here on the second floor. We have built a business around helping people either start, helping them through their bottlenecks or their issues, or helping them go from X to building in another market. And that is only getting bigger, and the momentum around this is just getting stronger. And so the idea of what we're going to be doing is like we are the home for brave entrepreneurs and bold humans. And this BYE is just that. It is building very brave entrepreneurs and bold humans, essentially. It is a high-touch 6-week immersion. We are taking 10. I can only take 10 because this is my first group immersion. So I've done individual and will continue to do individual, but this is the first group immersion that we're doing. And so clearly I'm probably going to way over deliver and do all those crazy things that you're doing when you're, trying to build something great and impactful. So there is an application process because I want to make sure I'm in the best position to help you, and that energetically it aligns. I want to understand exactly what it is you're trying to do, what industry, and just make sure that all feels good. But if you are someone who is really considering starting something, you're living with it, it's in your head, you can't get it out, but you can't figure out why you're not really taking that first bold step, this could be your program. If you're someone who has taken the bold step, and now you feel like you're in the Wild West kind of looking around and there's like all these cactus we call them cacti. I think plural is cacti. You can fact check me on that. And like dust balls everywhere. You're like, what the hell am I doing? How am I going to build this thing? What's left? What's right? What's wrong? What's up? What's down? We can help you make better decisions, put you on the rails, plug in our expertise, which, a big thing about what we're building that I think is very, very important for people to know. So just listen up. My goal isn't to build something where I have this asynchronous relationship and I'm going to like build this course and I'm going to tell you from a soapbox everything that I know in business and I'm so smart and you're going to suck it all in and then we're going to go away. That is not the vibe. That is not the goal. My goal is to be a conduit, a magnet, an access point that when you come into this situation, I can assess quickly and figure out, okay, who in my ecosystem here that we've built, who's the expert that you would need to sort of dial in with? How can I help network this person? How can I amplify what this person's doing? And oh, by the way, there are very universal business things and curriculum that we will teach you. But I think the magic of this, the intent and the magic of this program is, there are universal things, right, that every business owner needs to learn and understand. So like setting up your business, doing taxes, the software systems, all that stuff. But then there's an even bigger part of it that is very nuanced. So if you're out there and you're like, well, I want to build a product, I want to develop a product, instead of me sitting here trying to like help you build a product, I have someone who I respect greatly who actually is a product guru who has not only worked for a very large product incubator and helped grow that thing massively, but now she's doing her own product and it's very successful and she's making huge inroads. So the beauty of this is that we have an ecosystem and are continuing to build this community of successful business owners who will surround you and help holistically walk you on your journey, because it's a wild ride. And so if you can plug into the right group of resources who can really, mentally, emotionally, financially, practically, strategically help you along the way, I mean, it will save you time, the energy, the tears, the mistakes, all of it. So I highly recommend, if you or someone that you know wants to start something, we should at least have a 15-minute call, because I do believe, and I know in my gut, this is going to be a game-changing opportunity for people. And you know what? If you are someone who wants to start a services business, I mean, I am your girl. If you're someone who's looking to do something in the fitness space, obviously my sweet spot. But again, with this infrastructure, you don't have to be limited to just starting something in the services or the fitness space to get value out of what we're providing. So the BYE, it's launching end of February. There is an application. If you want the application, it will be in the show notes. You can also set up a 15-minute call to see if there's a fit. You can email us. I mean, there's millions of ways to reach us, but I'm so excited. I don't think is even the word for how I feel about getting this first group of entrepreneurs together, because also the value of the entrepreneurs meeting each other and sort of gelling in that special way. You can't put a price on that either. Couple other things, 2026, looking ahead, one of our initiatives is to do live shows. So I am working really hard to get a group of really cool, successful business owners together. And we're going to do, my goal is to have 3 in 2026. We'll see how that goes. But we want to have a live event. We'll have a limited number of tickets, and we will have 1 to 3 of these people. It'll be in a, very conversational atmosphere, moody, vibey. It's not going to be some you sit and stare at them on a stage, on a podium or whatever. It's be very collaborative. So I'm so excited about that. Looking for some more in real life stuff. Looking to Get underneath the entrepreneurial community. So if you have anyone who is like a low-key entrepreneur building, please don't be shy about it. We want to know about them. We want to help. We want to help amplify them. If there's an opportunity for them to be on the show, that would be fabulous as well. And before I wrap, I do want to just mention what I had talked about last week on the B Word, which is our email experience that comes out every Friday morning. You know, as we were planning for 2026 and we were doing this, you know, for the last couple of weeks, I'm sitting at the table with Kitty Kate and we have the whiteboard and we've got all this stuff on the whiteboard and there's all these exciting things happening, right? It's like you look at it and you're like, wow, like, this is really exciting. And how are we going to pull this off? And all of a sudden, I had this feeling that I get often, if I'm being honest. I remember looking back the last 10 years of my building career at SOS, I would get this feeling. And it was like, I hated it because it was like everything sort of just started to meld together. And the best way I could define it is just overwhelm. And it's like, wait, how are we going to do this? Like, how is this going to happen? And you get stuck in this train of thought that it's too hard or there's too much or whatever. So anyway, I'm sharing this with you because I know I'm not alone in that. I know that feeling stops so many people. And not only just from like, it's too hard, but like, this is for other people. I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not smart enough for this, or how are we going to make this happen? And I cannot tell you the simple quote, it always seems impossible until it's done. I don't know when this happened or why it happened, but whenever I would feel that, I would just think that quote. I'm like, wait, it always seems impossible until it's done. Like, this is universal. This isn't just me. This is what stops people. Like, you have to just plug through and keep it moving forward. And it always seems impossible. So if you're someone who's going through it right now, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know how you're going to get, you know, where you want to go, I will say, like, at least for me, sometimes there's just value in, instead of like all the strategy and all the big stuff, and believe me, it's important. Systems, strategy, planning, forecasting, all that stuff is important. Like, it's critical. But sometimes what's really, really important is just to zoom all the way in. So zoom in and just pick the one or two things that are going to move the needle. Like, get really clear on what those things are and just push forward with those and just trust the process, even if you can't completely see it yet. Because you can and you will get through it as long as you stay on the path and you don't let all this wild stuff stop you. So, you know, it is for you. You have something that nobody else has. So don't you dare sell yourself short and say that anything is for other people, because it's not. You deserve everything that the world has to give you, but you have to step up and you have to puff your chest out and you have to go after it like a savage. No one is going to do it for you. All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope everybody is safe and happy and full out there. It's so nice to talk to you again. And we're going to do more of these. We're going to do more solo casts. We've got a lot of plans, a lot of exciting things. And I want you to be involved. So if you're thinking anything, if you have ideas for guests, if you have ideas for anything that I've talked about, questions, comments for the good of the order, please, please reach out. And until next time, keep moving, baby.